is PixelatedPlays. I'm James Honeycutt, and this is
JJ Kress.
And we are going to be playing Star Citizen again, and no, that has nothing to do with personal preferences. It does. We're going to be covering the social module a little bit today. That's going to happen a little bit. This is really just an excuse to play Star Citizen. But we will be going over the social module. Select down to the actual. Sure, and then tab into the game. Okay. Cool. Yes. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Star Citizen. Are we getting video on that? It doesn't look like we're getting video on that. Right click. Looks like we might be suffering from Star Citizen. There we go. Top one. Yep. Very good. Yes. Yes.
There we go.
Yes, much better. Yes.
What is it?
What had happened? So we're still not getting
Little hiccup.
Go ahead and stop.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
Yeah. You always
The
have
other.
to
Oh, we were just talking about that.
30 steps.
Right. So pause. One of the issues with the game is that the launcher stays open after the game stays open, and that can cause some issues. One of them being that. If you will do me the favor of hitting insert on the keyboard, JJ. Insert. Insert on the keyboard. Okay. No! Look at you!
Can I...
Now hit F6.
F6.
No! Now you're wearing different armor. You can keep hitting F6 for a while.
Do you have this different armor, or is it just loaded in the game?
Currently it's in the game.
Like
this
everyone
is not
has access to the different armor?
Currently, yes.
Can I look at my face? Is there a swing around option?
There is if you're in a cockpit. As of right now,
I have no face. I have no face.
You look a lot like Chris Roberts. That's
There's a...
So, right, yeah, there is. So, you are currently running around the asteroid hangar because I bought the Drake Cutlass because I want to be a pirate. And, yeah. So, you explore and I will narrate.
Do you know why I already like this game?
Why?
My feeties.
Look at your feet!
And my chest.
And
look at that. It looks like hands on my hips. Look at that.
This is not one of those games where you just have feet.
Yeah,
you have a whole body.
I know.
And it's you can look at it and jump and stuff. The animations are really terrible, but they're
still better than Skyrim jumping.
Yes. So this is the asteroid hangar. This is granted to you with the purchase of certain ships. You can buy additional hangars. This game is monetized to a terrifying degree. That's one of the reasons why it has over 88 million in crowdfunding. You can buy anything you want to. From like,
how many ships do you own?
I currently own 4. I own 4 ships. I do. I'll explain that though. It's because I wanted to have the best dogfighter, which is the Super Hornet. And then I wanted to have a larger ship. And for a while, I had decided that I wanted the Drake Cutlass, the ambulance version, what we call the Spambulance, or the Space Ambulance. Spambulance, yeah, that's super clever, we know. But I wanted another ship. And then they put one of the Connies on sale, the Constellation. And I bought the Constellation. And I then sort of like returned it in order to have more ships until the Constellation is flyable. So yeah. So what? When I returned it, I had enough money to have a lot of different ships. So I did. That's sort of what your face looks like. So what you're sitting in right now is the Merlin, which is the teeny little snub fighter that is tucked into the tail of the Connie. So you have, it's like, think about like the Falcon if the Falcon had an X-Wing tacked onto the bottom of it.
Okay.
That's what that is. This is the Gladius. The Gladius is arguably the best dogfighter right now. It sort of jumps in between the Super Hornet and the Gladius. The Gladius has less weapons on it, but it's a little more maneuverable. It's a lot faster.
I just love the animations. Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. And the cockpit of this thing, it just I want to bone the cockpit of this thing. So first of all, anyone that's not familiar with the game, you can't take off from your hangar yet. That will be an option eventually, but you can't do it right now. Note that chain gun on
All
the
I can
front.
think of is the A-10 Warthog.
Yeah. The Avenger is commonly more affiliated with the Warthog, but this seems a lot more like it to me.
If you just look at the gun on the front and just
yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Eventually, apparently, the chain gun on the front of the Avenger is going to be more like the Avenger cannon. That's actually part of why it's named that way. But I like this one a lot better. It's so much faster. It's so much more maneuverable. This guy right here is the Spambulance. Go to the back of the ship. Yes.
So the other ship latches onto this one?
No.
It's the other
We'll talk about the Connie in a little bit. Back up a little bit. Go to the right. Look at that leg. Rotate around that leg. See that blue button? Press that button.
I'm gonna boop the button.
You're gonna boop the button.
I wish there was.
You booped the button.
I wish there was a boop animation.
Oh well, there might be in third person. So this is the interior of the Drake Cutlass, the Spambulance version. This has 8 bunks, so you can have up to 8 people on this ship at a time, and then you have this guy right here. That's weird. I don't think that says Star Citizen and that says Star Citizen. Yeah, you might want to refresh that. So you have these 8 bunks. Turn around. See these blue things? 8 bunks. Yeah. Okay. You want to go to sleep?
Yeah. Do I actually go to sleep when you lay down? Like, or does it make you go to sleep?
I mean, you stop here. In the actual game, you go to sleep, and that's how you save. You can't save in space unless you have a bunk. So, right. Now, if you hit F again, you'll hop down. So, those 8... The reason why I really like this ship is because you have access for 8 people to all play together. Then you have these 2 little bays here, which are essentially like healing pods. They're like back-to-tanks in the Star Citizen universe. So, our plan as it stands right now is to just fly around and be mercenary battlefield medics and provide this sort of support to people and kind of try to stay uninvolved. So that's the aft. If you'd like to move more towards the front, the normal Drake has a turret right where you're standing, but not this one. So you have the Rio seat right here, and that is presumably for secondary functions. You know, like management of power, shields, etc. And then you have the front seat, and when you get in the front seat of the Drake, you better go do that. You better get in the front seat of the Drake. Look what happens. You pop in, and what happens? What does it do? Oh! Oh, it slides to the side. Yes, it does.
See, I really like the fan. Just the little
right?
Yeah, like the dangly fan.
Yes, I'm sort of irritated as it stands right now.
But I kind of wish the fan was like right up there.
Turn on. Yeah, no, it should be. It should be higher up, but it should also turn on when you press that button.
Wait, let me. Oh, boo.
You can't fly anything in this mode. We're gonna get there. We gonna do that.
Gonna go to the other ship.
Turn to the right.
Yeah.
Turn to the right. Look at the right. Look up. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a button. You need to press the button.
Don't see the button.
Walk closer to it. No, that's weird. Okay, so that's not yet rendered on this version of the Cutlass. Okay, we'll address that in a second.
What did I...
Yeah, that's that button. So, yeah, on the finished version of the normal Cutlass, the base Cutlass, that button opens a door and you can run around on the top of it. You can't do it on that one, apparently.
Woo!
Oh, to the left. Yeah. What's that?
Did you buy something to add on to this?
Did James buy... A $15 space go-kart.
That's almost as bad as horse armor.
It's so much worse. So, yeah, a space go-kart. That's not very well optimized yet, is it?
Spokart?
Whoa.
Spokart? Does it have a horn?
It does, but you got it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I bought this because eventually we're going to trade the other ships back in on the Connie. And the Connie has a little bay that we can drive it up in.
Does it have a handbrake?
That's a good question. I think spacebar is the... You can tip it. I have tipped it before. So at some point in this game, we will absolutely be doing go-kart racing involving those.
In the hangar?
Yep. That's... Without question, that's going to happen.
Can I flip it?
I don't know. No, you fucked that. As a matter of fact, I will never be able to turn that back over. You owe me $15. No, it's fine. It goes right back to where it was.
Making me feel bad.
That's that Gladius again. The Super Hornet is on the other side of the...
Look at damn feet. Look at damn feet.
So many feats. Ooh, and then you can run and stuff too. Ooh.
See?
And then you can run in third person.
And I can change my outfit.
Yeah, you can. You can change your outfit while you run. You can. It slows you down. Now the Super Hornet. So this is the actual preeminent dogfighter in this game, and it reminds me a tremendous amount of this like G.I. Joe hovercraft plane I had when I was 12, and I was really excited about it.
It's like an angrier big brother of the Vipers
it's
from DSG.
So goddamn mean.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I do. So you have two wing lasers. You have two lasers on the front. Those front lasers are turret mounted, you'll note. And then you have two on the top, and that's a different kind of turret. So you can... I'm sorry, I should say gimbal. So 4 of your lasers are gimbal based, so you can be flying in one direction and pointing another one. This fighter has a back seat, and that back seat mans the top turret. And so you can have someone gunning back to towards your tail while you're flying it. This motherfucker is mean. Just so ooh, yes.
No,
and we have tested out. You can do multiplayer work with the turret in co-op, and you can do it in the sort of single player mode. You can't get into the turret in the actual hangar yet. But yeah, so
should we test it out?
Yeah, so you have two options at this point. We can either go to the social module and we can run around, or you can try and fly.
I say try and fly, then social.
Okay, sure.
It's not just
yeah. So resume and then run back over towards where you started.
I would take the go-kart,
but yeah, you did flip it. You did. To the right, you see that round thing? Press that.
Do you have the fish tank?
Yes, I do. Yes. So that's different. That's a backer thing. It's the Mustang. It's the TIE Fighter.
So you get little models for...
Yeah, if you back at a certain point. I'm not a subscriber, which means you pay them a certain amount of money each month. That's the fish tank.
Which has a fish that breaks out, right?
Yeah, so, well, okay.
Crab?
So, there's the Thor shoe right there. See, there was a little bug early on in the game where that guy would just not be there. So they put in lore that he escaped and like ran all across. But so I've got a fish and I've got the crab.
How do I kill the chat screen?
F12. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, isn't it? The Steam screenshot
like
is
the helmet.
Yes.
But do you get the hats that were in Wing Commander?
No. No, and thank God you do not get the hats from
I would pay $15 for that hat.
Jesus.
Just for your character.
God. All right.
Where do you go?
So run over to that little white circle there. Now, this isn't the only way you can do this, but this is the cool way to do it.
Is this an elevator? Or
it's a simulator. You see that EA symbol there? That they like to poke at things in this game. And Arena Commander, the symbol there looks very much like that. So you have 3 options. Would you like to go through Top Gun training?
No.
Okay. Drone Sim means you can just fly around on your own, or you can fly against AI. And Spectrum Match means against real people.
Drone.
There you go. So, 2 maps, and then a couple of different modes. So, Vandal Swarm is against AI. I would not recommend that until you learn how to fly. Free flight is okay. And I was going to show you the different matches in aircraft that you could, but okay, spacecraft, but
Can I go back?
you probably don't need to. There are only 2 maps, and I think the one that you picked was the Gladius, which is a little bit easier to fly. It isn't the Super Hornet, and you don't have all the pew-pew.
Also, I get to use the nice joystick. Let's just pin that down.
Yeah, that's
Ooh. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna pick
you can lift it if you can. I have some wire management issues.
There we go.
Keeping that from moving. Yeah, that's the Thrustmaster. So there you go.
Can I blow up an asteroid?
You can blow up the small ones, yeah, not the big ones.
Okay. This brings me back to Microsoft Flight Sim, World War II.
All right, so important thing to note. In this title, we are not dealing with an atmospheric flight model in space. You are dealing with a legitimate Newtonian flight model. So, point yourself away from scariness. You see this right here? That is your thrust. So, thrust forward. You are currently doing 240. Turn left. That's roll.
I know.
That's roll. That's what you... Okay, so note that number skewed wildly when you did that. So rotate roughly 90 degrees left. Do it fast though. So you see how that dropped. That's because of the way the thrust model is dealt with in the game.
How do I change my camera?
What?
The camera cockpit view. Oh, is there...
Yeah, there sure is.
Is there a joystick view version?
Is there a what?
A joystick version to change shortcut?
No. I didn't do that. All those buttons are really important.
Okay.
So essentially what that means is if your thrust is in a specific direction and you alter your orientation, you will continue along the line of previous thrust until the thrust produced by your craft corrects that to a certain degree.
So let's show that off in this mode.
Right.
Okay.
So essentially, like, let me illustrate really quick. Okay, so what you've got is a tremendous amount of positive thrust. If you rotate 90 degrees, you're sliding a little bit.
Still drifting.
Now you're going forward.
Okay.
Now, one of the ways that you can deal with that in this game, say you're rolling forward here, there's a button right here. It's where your forefinger lies. If you rotate and you slam that, you hit the afterburners and your nose swings around a lot faster.
Which one's the afterburners?
It's where you're... It's the big one. The small one is self-destruct.
Oh.
So
why would you put that right there, James?
Okay, so if you tap the large button, it's afterburner. If you double tap it, it's brake.
I'm tapping it.
Okay. But like tap and hold, you can do that too.
I'm holding.
Right. So now you don't go any faster. You just essentially utilize engine boost to get you. It increases acceleration as opposed to velocity. Now, the button below that, if you tap it once, it activates self-destruct. If you tap it twice, it ejects you. So they are a little close to each other, but it made sense in my brain. So
and you have missiles, right?
You do, but you have to lock on to something first. So, all right, now an extended display of this physics model involves move your hand. Involves this button. See that guy right there? Okay, now rotate your nose. Go to external view. Okay, now just tap it once when you're facing towards clear space. That's decoupled. When you hit it once, all thrust from your ship stops and you continue along that straight line. To illustrate in a really basic way, if you saw Battlestar Galactica, when you're moving in a certain path and you hit that, you go into decoupled mode, you can orient yourself however you want to, not change your velocity. Those two things, wrapping your head around the way that the physics model works when you're in coupled mode and the physics model works when you're in decoupled mode, are how you are good at maneuvering at this game. Wrapping your head around that completely is essential to being a good dogfighter. And like, it's not quite as simple as it's illustrated in other places. Like, what I'll normally do if someone's on my tail is I will barrel towards an asteroid. I will go into decoupled right as I cut around the corner, and then wait for them to emerge, and then tap out for a while. So, yeah, but so that right there is something that just isn't present in other physics models in flight sims.
Well, other games don't really have the budget.
Yeah, I don't. Well, and also the inclination. I mean, a lot of that makes it complicated. That adds a layer to the skill that is considerably higher and deeper than most sims.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of what people want out of this game, though. You know what I mean? They're not trying to make it a casual experience. This is not the game you kind of play.
No, this is the only game that you play for 9 months out of the year. I laugh, but they literally have they have $400 of my money right now. I have thrown so much money at these people because it's an MMO,
right?
Where your entry fee is what you pay before you start. We're not talking monthly fees.
Not a free-to-play model either.
Right. At all. It's a first-person shooter with a completely fleshed-out FPS suite. And it's a flight sim. And it's all three of those things at the same time. And yes, it might not come out till 2017. But I don't give a shit, because when it does, Jesus. So, cool. Do you want to try to land and run around?
I kind of want to shoot stuff.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so...
I mean, I could try to land real quick.
Oh, okay. Alright. So cut you're looking for those little green dots there. You want to...
And I'm blacking out.
Right, so... Continue to orient that way, pull up a little bit. Yeah, yep, just elevate yourself above those a little bit. And cut your thrust a little bit. Alright, totally cut your thrust. You about went through a red out. Alright, cut your thrust totally. Now orient yourself and find one of those pads. They're below you. Yeah, cool. So just pick one.
That one.
Yeah, one. Okay, fly sort of close towards it. Sort of close. Don't get super close. Okay. We have selected that pad because you're closest to it. We have selected manual landing mode. So just get as close towards it as you possibly. Whoa, okay. All right, so go to external view for me, please. No, that's fine. That's fine. Rotate yourself around so you can see. You actually didn't do badly. You got about as close to it as you could. All right, so yeah. So we're gonna talk about the different strafe modes in a second here. That looks really good. Okay, so one of the cool things about this game is you have this multiple control system. So if you look down here, WASD is forward, back, left, right.
Okay.
QE is roll. R and F are vertical, right.
No shit.
Well,
I touched it.
You did. Okay, so why don't okay, are we still in landing mode? Because I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to this. And why don't you do me the favor of, yeah, just real gingerly. Real gingerly. There you go. Now hit F. Okay, let go. Yeah. Yeah, you get it out now.
I successfully landed.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, now you ripped off
bump.
pretty much everything at the bottom. Yeah, so
it looks fine.
No, you know what? It doesn't look like you.
You put that nice protective coat of paint on there.
You got your repeater on that side.
So
just
we're good.
now walk around and let's do, because the damage model in this game is amazing. I don't think you actually hurt anything at all.
Ha!
I don't know how you did. The shield must have taken literally all of the damage from it. All right, so tap 1 for me. Yeah, that's right. Look how broken your thumbs look. I can't. All right, you know what? No, they're not broken, but that's not how you hold a gun. You don't do that.
What is this thing?
It's a laser pistol. It has no recoil.
Does it have a scope?
Oh no!
No!
Now you win 0G. Now you win 0G.
How do I get back?
Oh, you see, WASD,
how do I?
QE, RF, all the same.
I'm
controls.
pressing F and I am not getting any lower. Shit.
Just W towards. This is gonna be bad.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, I think you may have just killed yourself.
Worth it.
You just killed yourself.
I look like an awesome album cover though. Like,
it's such a pretty game. I can't wait until it's done and stuff.
So
all right, back to hangar.
So you gotta go back to hangar to then.
Yeah, yeah. Nah. So they had a glitch earlier, and we actually put this on the Twitch stream. They had a glitch where the asteroid hangar was there, and you could like fly into it and you could land on it, but they took that out because it was buggy. Yeah. Was the thing fixed?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So that right there, that's actually the Avenger. That's the Warthog clone. And if anything, it actually has a bigger Gatling gun, but I don't like that in this game.
You don't think it needs a bigger gun?
No, it has a bigger gun. I don't like
how it looks.
Oh, okay. So you know how in some games there are really high damage one-shot weapons,
right,
and then like really low damage repeated weapons. This is one of those games where it's almost always better to have a more accurate, higher damage one-shot.
Okay.
I find it, and I don't know if this is just because I'm a bad pilot, but I find it very difficult to keep the reticle on target enough to make the Gatling gun effective. Whereas if you have like 6 Omniskis on a Super Hornet, shit's like if I hit you 1 out of 8 times, you're all right. So we need to go down here first. Whichever one of those you flew on one of them. You probably want the Hornet. Okay, but let's talk about that. The Merlin is the little snub fighter that's attached to the tail of the Connie. The Drake Cutlass is the pirate ship that in our version is a Spambulance. And then that's the Super Hornet. And the Gladius is what you were just flying. I would say the Super Hornet just because it's made of PU. It's just so.
Now
go to free flight.
Okay. This one?
Yeah.
Can I do it on that map?
Yeah, you can. That's much more attractive. You pretty. There's a cat over here. She's very pretty.
And as we've said before, I am allergic to cats, but I love this cat.
Yep. She's being very well behaved. She's not approaching you at all. I think it's that chair. That's a.
I think we should get a Vixen cam.
Just put it on her back and let her. Yeah. No, I think that's.
Or just a camera that focuses on Vixen whenever.
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that cockpit though. Look at that cockpit though. Hey, you need to know controls.
Do I have a light? Oh crap, this is pretty.
Yeah, just wait. Yeah, okay, there you go. All right, so target.
Okay.
Target nearest enemy.
What does
there
this
aren't
do?
any here. Don't worry about that. That's shield balance. You don't need to worry about that. You've got plenty of shields.
Let's see how I look. Yes. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, I like that one. Alright, so, the trigger is fire that. Pull that one more time. Just hold it down. Look at all that. Alright, so, if you lift your finger and slide it slightly to the right, yeah, that's lock missile. So lift it. There's a button. There's a button here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's lock missile. So that's target. That's lock missile. Once you lock the missile, that's fire missile.
Now I see 2 indicators of fire, and what's the other one?
Yeah, so those are the countermeasures you have active right now. That's switched between the two of them, and that's fire. And that's if someone has a missile lock on you. So let's target the nearest enemy, and let's rotate towards that guy. There's an arrow somewhere down here. He continues to be there. Yep. Okay. And so you're all set.
Can I get a lock?
Yep. You have requested a lock. That's what that white is. Your system can't get one. Yeah, it has one now. But you don't want to fire it because now he's behind that rock. You can't keep a lock on him. You can't even target him now. That's one of the key strategic elements of this title.
This game is absurd.
It's so deep, but I'm so happy about it. Oh, now don't worry about the collision alert. That doesn't mean you're gonna run into anything. That means you're a good pilot and you're really close to the danger zone.
Oh, God.
So one of the things you want to do in that situation, because this is a big, fat, heavy-ass fighter, whenever you make a turn, hit Afterburner.
Okay.
You're not targeted on him. Yeah, now you are. Yeah, there that. So that is the predicted impact point, or PIP. That's where you need to aim.
Let me get a lock.
Right? You don't currently have a lock on him? No. You've got him targeted. You're not hitting the lock button.
Damn it.
That's the lock button.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, you already have a lock. Now, you do want to make sure that you're sort of aligned with his trajectory before it fires, because the missiles in this aren't insanely smart. You can tap that whenever you want to. Remember firing the missile? Yeah, that guy. Well, you might want to hold it.
Got it. That feels good.
Alright, so there are G1, G2, and G3 are your different energy sets. One is weapons, one is shields, one is engines. You can adjust those at any given point.
How would I adjust that?
1, 2, or 3. Now, I normally have those bound to a voice attack profile that allow me to do it through my headset. Like I'm talking to motherfucking R2.
As if you didn't need to complicate this game anymore.
Right. Well, see, I actually find that simplifies it a great deal.
Why did that get bigger when I locked on?
You probably, when you had the lock and you released it, you got to hold it. Yeah. See, that means that you fired it, or you've lost.
And
the
what
lock.
is that arrow?
It depends. That's the missile.
Okay.
That little red thing is what's chasing it. So that means that motherfucker missed like crazy. So missiles in this game were initially insanely overpowered, and then they dialed them way back. So now you basically need to use them point blank and real up close. Missiles and their lock are based on your EM profile. The higher your EM profile, the easier it is
to lock onto.
Right, and the more likely a missile is to hit.
Now, how do you decrease your EM profile? Not have as much junk
you
on
can
it?
turn your shit off entirely. And that's the way the Ghost works, is you have nothing turned on. And yeah, at any given moment, you can turn your shield, weapons, whatever off.
So when they show up, you just pop them?
Yeah.
Where
but
am I looking for?
Certain craft have higher, lower profiles, and that depends on the chassis that you have and the equipment that you have. So there's an insane amount of min-maxing attached to this game. Yeah, in really wonderful ways. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to turn off your G-safe, which means you can maneuver more but are more likely to black out.
Sweet.
So if shit goes red, stop turning. That's how that works. And if shit is about to get like super serious and you're about to black out, try to aim away from stuff. That's normally my protocol, Is like I don't so much mind if I black out as long as I get a really good shot out before I actually black out. That one might actually hit. Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Let's see.
And so, okay, note, when you're pulling the trigger, you've got these 6 points of fire. If you had a backseat, if you had a Rio right now, he would be manning the top turret. That guy was actually shooting at you.
Huh.
Okay, so you can adjust profiles by certain buttons. I just cranked your weapons and your shields up.
Sweet.
You'll note this right here. These are your different sets. You've got 2 bulldogs, two bulldogs, 2 badgers, and then a pair of M4s. I normally have those replaced with Omniskis, but the game just patched, and I didn't have a chance to move them off of one ship to another one. These last 2 are your missiles. You had 7, and you've already, excuse me, you had 8, and you've already used 7. So that's a thing you chose to do. What else should we talk about control-wise? So you haven't been targeted yet, but if you are, where your finger is resting right now, that's the countermeasure key, and that's something that you do want. I just equalize your shields because you're taking fire, so I'm going to make sure that you don't. Oh shit! So yes, absolutely do that. Keep that shit that close. Yes. You didn't hit it. That's what matters. Well, that's what matters.
The thing is, this game, I mean, everyone's setup's going to be different, obviously. Like, I don't have a crazy setup like you do. I've got just a Logitech stick. But, in general, this game feels natural when you're piloting. Probably it's also the aid with your setup. But, in general, just how it responds.
The thing that drives me crazy is how effective mouse and keyboard is.
Really? I can switch over?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah,
so you can pull down the sensitivity if you now remember right mount. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
Yeah, no.
So that's that. So the gimbal thing that you can see that's the big advantage of using mouse and keyboard, is that you don't have to necessarily be oriented straight at something to hit it. And it's hard to argue that. And so what a lot of people do that are running super competitive rigs is they actually, instead of running like a mouse and keyboard or a hands-on throttle and stick, they run hands-on mouse and stick. And so they essentially have a stick in their right hand and a mouse in their left hand, and they're orienting this way and they're aiming with their left hand. Which, yeah, I'm fucking first of all.
Aiming with your left hand just sounds awful. But, you know, I've been following this game mainly because every couple days I get a flooded inbox from you of screenshots.
From who? From what?
You.
What?
And it's like, here's like 20 things on Star Citizen.
You're targeted that way. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard for me to think of a more compelling title that's coming out. Like, so many of the games that are currently in development are either sequels or they're derivative, or they're just not new or unique or like super interesting. But this game is trying to do things no one has ever done.
Or the thing you dreamed out when you were playing Wing Commander as a kid.
Yeah, like when I was playing X-Wing, I wanted a Han Solo simulator. I wanted to be able to run around on Nar Shaddaa and like negotiate how much spice I was gonna run, and then take it to the Falcon, and then run it. And like, that's what this game is, and that's insanely cool.
It's also just like a good year and few years coming for space games too.
Right? Now, Elite Dangerous was wonderful, and the upcoming expansion looks amazing. I'm totally on board with this. I think Starfighter Inc. actually looks really promising, provided they can figure out whatever they're doing with their funding post Kickstarter.
And there's that new game Everspace. That's single player.
I'm blanking. Okay. On that. I'm blanking on that. I feel like I should, but no. I mean, there's so many titles in this direction, and I I put the responsibility for that solely, like, completely and totally on the fact that PC gaming is back. This is not a genre that, like, works or functions for something else. So, what we're gonna do? Social? Yeah, we're gonna do the social module really quick. There's not a lot to talk about, but we'll cover that, and then we're gonna come back in a little bit with some Metal Gear. What? Metal Gear? Yeah, there you go.
And also, we have been absent, but we want to be nice, so we're giving you
so much content today. So much content. And this may end up being sort of a farm for us for a while, given our schedules is just gone for a little bit and throw a lot at you.
We missed you too.
We did.
Okay, back to
yeah, so I'm gonna be here.
Okay. See, I just can't imagine playing this with an Oculus Rift or some type of VR headset.
I want to.
Go back where? Downstairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and run downstairs. There's a massive double door and there's an elevator.
Let's see if I can get Vixen in the shot. Hey, cat. I wonder if I should flip the go-kart again. How mad would James be? Where is... Ah! There it is. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, let's just see if we can use this. No? Cool. Hey, my hand's all broken. Look.
Now, I remember saying something about double doors. I don't remember saying anything about...
I was going to flip it again.
Getting in the... Yep, no. Yeah, I am absolutely certain that that is the plan that you had in mind. Those are in... Yep. So, that looks weird and high-tech.
Yeah, I like how you go from, like, rugged... What is the... Oh, well...
You can type in A01, but stop here for a second. So, Art Court A01. What this really heavily implies to me is that you will be able to have your own alphanumeric code, and you will be able to, like, allow friends to visit your hangar, and you can visit their hangar, or there may be multiple locations on the planet you can visit. So, launch.
Can you use the numpad? Well, wait.
No, but that has to be forthcoming. That has to be.
I already hate it now.
Yeah. I want a refund!
Ruin the game for me. I like it. I do.
What are the graphical settings that it's on right now?
Medium. No,
okay.
high, I think. Why?
Oh, okay. No, it's just...
Are we gonna lose frames?
Because when we go to this part, it might be a little bit challenging. That's not loaded yet. I want you to alt tab out and hit start watching. I just want to be able to monitor stuff. There we go. But which Star Citizen, JJ?
Is this gonna be like
which
the
of
elevator?
The two executables?
I was gonna say, is this like the elevator in Mass Effect? Or can I get out?
So that's how you go back.
Cat?
There's a door. It's not that door. It's that door. We really might want to tone down the video settings, because... What are we even... Oh yeah, take that down to low. This game is very, very poorly optimized on the best of all possible days. Right, okay.
But it's the love that brings you back, right?
It really is.
Are these other people?
Yes, they are. Those are real people. Those are people who are trying to break out of this area, walk around a little bit. I just want you to see, to get in the Connie over there. That's... People are consistently trying to figure out how to get out that door to get inside that constellation.
Can I sit?
You can in some places. That's not one of them. You can stand on it.
Oh.
That's so yeah.
And there's no names, no HUD pop up.
Not yet. No. All right. So this is customs, right? So you'll note that over there. That's the Connie. The way that this would work in actuality is you would land on that pad out there, walk in through that door, and then go through customs.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Now, did they say how functional the world is going to be?
The assumption is completely functional. Like, what you're in right now is a hub world. And you're looking at the different locations. So what you're about to walk into right now is the Pilots Guild. That's the center, obviously. G-Lock is the bar. Yeah, that's the bar. Yeah. He just started sprinting. So...
Do I have money?
Well, unfortunately, you can't do any of that yet. But
so what's on tap?
Lots of space beer. Smells. That's a smelts. Smelts. Yeah, lots of different kinds of the same thing.
Different tap. So
Yeah.
pool table, darts...
That would be really disappointing ultimately if there aren't. There is a dance floor. Get on the dance floor. Hold on. All right. Hit insert, please. Hit enter. Oh, you might need to hit F12 first. Hit enter. Okay, you're there. Slash. And dance. Oh, it's the white boy. Yeah, they're more.
It's like playing WoW again.
So you mentioned something earlier when we were talking about countdowns.
Mm-hmm.
About what we should
Yes.
really do. I'm thinking this. I can't.
Just us dancing.
Yeah, but like that. Oh, this is my favorite. He's not doing anything.
That is me when I'm
It's like dancing at a rave. It's a
That is me.
awkward white boy dancing at a rave. There's nothing happening.
Actually, no, that's me at a metal show. Just very...
Yeah, wait for it. This is the white boy. Look at the white boy.
Oh, never mind. That's not me. Nope. Nope.
So there
Is
you
there
go.
a gun range?
It's not in the game yet. They had it in the alpha for this, but they took it out. I can take you to where the gun shop is.
I do like this whole when you run this turn that you do, this slight lean.
Yeah,
A lot of little things. It's kind of like with GTA 5. You know, it's like
They're
the little things that are very impressive.
Very concerned about how you look when you do that, and that's something they're implementing deeply. Astro Armada is the ship store. That's an alleyway that's like really crazy, but it's clear that there's gonna be
drugs, right?
something here eventually, but there isn't right now.
This game is absurd.
It's goddamn pretty. Like I know that this is just a proof of concept, and that's why I'm okay with there not being a lot of features in it. This shit gonna get real. Is gonna get real.
Well, if it combines the worlds of, like, you know, an MMO experience like WoW. Like, for me, I can't play really any MMOs post-WoW. I tried.
Yeah.
And games are boring to me. And
Yeah.
so I need something that'll scratch that itch to a point without that level of dedication.
Yeah, and that's
commitment.
like I love that it's an MMO without monthly fees. That's a first-person shooter and that's a flight sim.
The only weird thing...
I just need it to be out.
As lame as it sounds, that bugs me is when you go to create an account, you need to make, what, 3, 4 usernames?
3 or 4 different usernames. Yeah.
I get why.
So yeah, well,
but it's also like
so part of that is because of the current backer issue. Like you have a backer name, and then you have a forum name, and then you have an account name, and then you have an actual pilot name.
Yeah.
And I get it. I just don't love it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah.
It's not my favorite. So that's Jawbell again to the right. This is the medical hub over here.
So you'd go here if you're injured?
Yeah, if you're fucked up and you're not flying a spambulance, which won't be a problem because we gonna always have a spambulance. So you would walk over here and you would buy the different kinds of med packs. Those are the different uses. That's the ER. So the way that this works, if you don't have a med bay on your ship and your buddy gets really screwed up, you throw him over your shoulder, you run him back to the ship, you put him on a bunk, you fly him back to here, you pick him back up, and you run him into the ER.
Just drop him off right in front, walk away.
It's really... He's taking space cocaine.
So look at that. The reflection in the display up there.
That's...
this is just stupid.
There's a reason why they picked the Cry engine. They were just...
No reflection. Worst game ever. So where would the gun store be?
Back across, and then cut to the left in front of the orb.
Right.
So this, incidentally, is Arc Corp. This is like a corporation planet. So Cubby Blast. Yeah, Cubby Blast. And so, yep, those are the guns. So you can see there are some pretty obvious modern inspirations. The middle one there is like a G36.
Yeah.
Pistols are pretty prototypical.
I'm making a... Oh, God.
Yeah. Almost everything is ballistic in the game, by the way. There are some that aren't, but almost everything is ballistic. That's where the gun range was. That's ammo. That's ammo. Oh, that's the head of an alien. Because... Space America.
Space gun store.
Yeah. So that was where the you could go through there and get to the gun range, but then it wasn't in the beta version. It was just the alpha, and so that's a boo. Keep calm. Carry one. Yeah. They're doing work over there. But so this is where you would come. You would literally be able to just walk up to it and using like. There's this crazy interface in the game, which, there you go.
Are you serious?
Oh! That is called augmented reality. I'm so proud that I waited that long to do that.
I love that.
So you hit augmented reality, and then all of a sudden, everything in the world is interactable and has information. It's what Google Glass wants to be when it grows up in a space setting. Just.
Well, I do like how they don't. I like games where there's not that much of a HUD, you know, and to let you kind of choose when you have it active.
Right,
like
and
it's really neat. And it looks like there's comms and jobs.
Yeah.
Does it tell me anything about him?
No. Not yet. Just because he's not there yet.
Or having worked in retail, but is it really sold out?
Yeah.
Let me scan the rack. Nothing for the knife.
That's so goddamn cool.
Oh, that's expensive.
Yeah, go back to the medic place.
Fuck.
Go look at that shit. So, this. Look.
That's his name. Okay. So
no. So all of the information that you need about everything is available through the augmented reality system, which you can turn on and off with oh my god! So
it would be great if like things on the ads came up like this ship is available for this map.
I'm really hoping that they're gonna do that in the long run, but so the critics of this game, I get it. This game has a lot of money and they produced very little yet, but there's so many good ideas. And they're so well handled. You need to go to the junk store and you need to go to the ship store. And we'll cut it off after that, but you need to do those.
Go to where?
So run outside.
I might have to throw money down soon.
I will give you one of the 4 ships I have over there. I won't, because if I do that, then I can't afford the Constellation. That's the 4-seater that you're gonna help me pilot. No, seriously, that's the.
Well, I mean, I told you, the ship that I want currently, those what, 200?
Yeah, so there are the bombers that you're talking about. The Retaliator, they actually just did a huge update on that, and that thing looks super good.
But it's 200.
But yeah, I don't see one person having that unless they're going to play it with someone else. And I think the Connie is really compelling in that fact. Okay, so this is the ship store. And so, is that not going to trigger? That was the one thing I didn't test. That's the M50, which is the racer, like the preeminent racer in this game. The ad they did for that was basically an episode of Top Gear. It was hilarious. So this is where you come to buy ships. Rotate 90 to the right. That guy over there, you talk to that guy, you buy ships from him.
I feel like he should be wearing a suit.
Yeah, he absolutely.
Like, I don't trust him now.
I don't know what that is. I'm not. No. Okay, so roll outside. That over there, that's the this guy in the poster. That's the Idris frigate.
How much?
We gonna get one of those. You would have had to have spent literally thousands of dollars on that. Now, we should make this clear again. We said this in previous videos. There's not a single thing that you can buy with real money that you can't buy in the game with money you earn by playing the game.
It's the second hand.
It's not a free-to-play MMO. Like, that's not how it works. It's just...
the model that they're using right now.
That's what you get at the very beginning. And when you buy one with real money at the very beginning, you get a special version that looks better. And, like, that's fair, because they spent thousands of dollars on it. But, there you go.
So this is the chop
shop? Dumper, yeah, this is the chop shop. So you can buy secondhand parts, you can buy secondhand ships, etc., etc.
Is there a disadvantage to buying a ship secondhand?
It's probably in worse shape. They haven't really spoken to that in crazy detail, but that would be the presumption. You can sell parts here. You can buy parts that are secondhand that are in worse shape. So, yes, you do have to repair your ship.
Theoretically, you could be a jerk, sneak onto somebody's ship, take a part that they might need.
Theoretically, yes. You would probably have to wait until they land in order to take it off, but like the way that the game works, and we haven't dealt with this, there's a table that you go into and you can see the power plant, you can see the engine, and you can see the thrusters, and you can see the shields and the weapons. Those are actually physically rendered. I see absolutely no reason why you can remove it. And the crazy thing is those are physically rendered right now. That's a system they're building into the game, so it will be there in the end. So yeah, so the social module, like, there's not a lot to talk about here.
Or do. I mean, it's neat to look around.
This is an indicator of a hub world where you can't do anything, but it shows you the way that the game will play. There will be something like 60 of these in the full game. And all of them will have these elements, and all of them will have things you can interact with, and there you go. It's a gorgeous game. It has so much potential. It has more potential than I think it knows what to do with, but it also has so many studios working on it, and more money than anything has ever had, ever. Destiny and Grand Theft Auto topped out above 50 and below $60 million in budget. This game has 88 million and will probably hit 90 or 100 million by the time it's done funding. So, yeah, but so that's the social module. There's not really much to add to that.
I'm impressed. Like, I played it once before when you first got it.
Yeah.
And
it's made moves in the last year. It's made moves. It's too big to be done yet. And that's my main defense against the people that are criticizing it. Is like what it is right now is a dogfight sim. It's a multiplayer dogfight sim. That's all. And that's really compelling. The flight model works. It feels really good. The ships are solid. They're working on balance. It's not super balanced yet. The things they're trying to do, it's not going to be out until the end of 2016 or 2017. And, like, I think the people that are throwing money at it know this. And don't care. Because when it is, I'm going to only play this game for, like, 1.5 to 2 years. Like,
well, it's something that's nice to just go back and check on. That a lot of people give, early access games a lot of crap. And I've been burned by 3 so far, I think. And now it's kind of nice to see something like this. And there are a few other games that you can just go back to, tinker around for like an hour, 2 hour. You don't need to dedicate your life to it yet.
Yeah.
because it's not at that point, but it's still like, okay, cool, you know, big patch came out, I'm going to try this out. Cool, uninstall, come back to it later.
That's the thing about this that really, like, makes me feel better about it, is that specific point. We get a patch every month. There's a thing they add every month, and, like, I don't mind the concept of early access. I am inherently a little concerned about throwing a lot of money at an early access game, unless it has a pedigree, and Jesus does this game have a pedigree. But when you do throw money at an early access game, the most important thing that they can do is constantly update you. And there are 10 to 15 updates on this game, on progress, per week in different categories. They'll tell you, we're working at this in the FPS, we're working at this in ships, and I really don't mind. I am of the exact opposite mind as organizations like Polygon and Kotaku, who have just taken the shit out of this game. It's got a really long development cycle because it's supposed to be the biggest game ever.
Right.
Like, it's not a normal early access title. It's the kind of early access title that's supposed to provide the level of entertainment that World of Warcraft and Call of Duty and a flight simulator are supposed to throw at you. So it's really difficult for me to buy into the criticism of it. Especially given how often they update it. But anyway, yeah, so we've spent a lot of time on this. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We're going to be back in just a little bit here with Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm James Honeycutt. And
JJ Crass.
And we will see you guys in a second.